Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have to talk about I saw a movie, so you didn't have to, because guess what? I saw Monsters and Minions, or Minions and Monsters, or whatever it is. And if you're looking for a goofy, fun movie to entertain the young ones, this works for you. If you're looking for something deeper, well, you might want to move along. All I know is that it is entertaining, and if you're looking for that, this one might work. So stick around, we're going to jump in. Here we go. Now, Minions and Monsters is one of those wonderful films that, well, we all used to love. The goofy animated minions give you exactly what you are expecting every single time. This time we're introduced to a new tribe of minions, which is not really a spoiler. I think it was sold to you that way in one or two of the trailers. And you get to meet James and Henry and Ed and, you know, the people who are the central focus. You also get to meet like a robot character later in the film called Dort, who I think is entertaining as heck. And of course you have a Cthulhu-inspired bad guy, although he just seems like the cutest little thing ever. I don't even remember his name, the Deceiver. Anyway, it's just a lot of fun. Every bit of this film moves just like the trailer did. It introduces the minions. They're looking for their own, this tribe's looking for their own big boss, and the big boss is, well, found over and over again. It's kind of the same success failure story that happens in every single one of these Minions films. And what's great about it at the same time is you know what you're going to get. And the gags and the bits are spectacular. You are consumed with a kind of a manic energy from this film, at least through the second act. The third act, you get kind of worried whether or not this is going to work out well for a big finish. And believe it or not, at about an hour and a half, this does. It actually kind of carries its energy all the way to the finish line, which I wasn't actually anticipating or expecting. And let's just settle here. We know we're going to end up in 1930s, maybe 1940s Hollywood, or kind of a mashup. The transition from the silent film to the talkies. And once you hear the Minions talk, they don't really fit in with that era anymore. They were great in the silent era. They don't really work out in the talkies because, well, they speak gibberish and that's it. You can definitely understand what they're trying to say. And there's a lot of interesting language creation done in order to get their point across. They also kind of indicate that there might be one in their party that is reliant more on signals than they are on words. And look, overall, everything that's being done in this film is done with love and with care. And it doesn't seem like there's any particular kind of messaging there other than, obviously, the suffrage movement, which was taking place around the time that this film would have been happening. So when we get to the end, of course, we have our minions looking for their monsters. And when we get to the end, we get a satisfying conclusion. I'm going to tell you that the things that are working here are all the people doing the voices. The people who are speaking English. Allison Janney, for example, is a tour guide that does a brilliant job of narrating the film all the way beginning to end. This is very much like other Minions films. You have somebody that kind of carries the water throughout, and it's kind of something you need. Oh, and George Lucas is in the film. Actually, I was surprised. I thought he was going to be a Minion. Oh, no. George Lucas is in the film. And there are other people that are making cameo appearances as well. And I really kind of appreciated that. A lot of callbacks to the era of film that I liked. Buster Keaton, Orson Welles. Those names are going to be familiar to you, even Charlie Chaplin. You got references to things like Citizen Kane, Casablanca, and so on and so forth. And what's great about all of those elements is they just kind of fit together. Now, this is going to be what age is your audience and what is your audience looking for kind of movies. So it's not going to get a particularly high score from me, and I'm just preparing you because some of you might want to, you know, boo culture. And that's fair. I mean, if you were going in here and you love Minions movies, you're gonna really enjoy this one. It doesn't fall off. There aren't things that, you know, are hit or miss. It is mostly just that crazy Minions energy that carries you from beginning to end, even into the credits, which were really funny because they credited all the Minions and then they credited the people that worked on the film. It was kind of fun, and you might stick around for some of the credits because there are some pretty neat homages in there as well, especially to the older stuff. But once the Minions are no longer viable in Hollywood, they have to go on their monster search because they can't work in talkies, but they can work behind the camera, which I think is equally as important. And I really did appreciate every little element there, including the little green guy, the Cthulhu style guy that's named Goomie, who I think is actually Trey Parker. And again, it's just kind of fun. But regardless, all of the elements from that period of film that started from the 30s all the way through the 50s kind of show up here, including even space aliens, which I thought was brilliant. So if you're taking young ones, if you are a parent or a grandparent, this film is safe. There is a little bit of, potty style humor, but not in an obvious way, and not in a way that's unfamiliar to kids these days anyway. There's a lot there for them. There's also a lot there for adults, because if you can see, the other part of the storyline from an adult perspective, it's equally entertaining, which a lot of films don't do that anymore. Disney used to be the master at it. Illumination seems to be, picking up the mantle and carrying it, and this film does that as well. And for the 7th film in this category, I guess it's not really a genre, but from Despicable Me all the way to this one, Monsters and Minions, I'm just going to say it just fits. It works. It works in the lore. It works in the timeline. And it gives you another perspective from another tribe who's just trying to find their big boss so that they can serve them. Pretty neat stuff and kind of fun. And of course, in the end, you're not disappointed. And there's a lot of slapstick humor incorporated in here, just like always. There's a lot of moments that, just kind of, hit your funny bone, even if you're an adult. It's the same kinds of gags, just, equally distributed and done in a different way. A little more subtle in various points, and then very much more obvious in others. And I'm just going to say there's a positive message here, and I think the kids will actually love it. So believe it or not, despite the score I'm about to give you, I still think if you have young ones, or if you truly do love Minions, this is a movie for you. You're going to love it. Now, me personally, despite enjoying it, it's not particularly top shelf filmmaking. I won't lie. It's not going to be an 8 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10, which is better than a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 is dead center. This thing's just slightly better than that. And look, the music was great. I know that the composer had talked a little bit about it being wildly out of control, but whatever was done there worked there. And even the sound effects worked there. So whoever the Foley artists were working overtime. As I said, the cast that were in speaking roles did a great job. You are going to be surprised by some of the names in here that, you may not recognize. Also, because you're going to an animated film, your previews are likely going to be full of just all the upcoming animated films that are on the horizon. And there's quite a few out there that I'm looking forward to. Fortunately, because it is not rated R, I didn't have to suffer another view of the Odyssey, which I am going to have a hard time getting through. But at least I know that I can look forward to Spider-Man at the end of the month. Now, let's jump into some of the things that people are going to want to ask. Is there any foul language? No, but there is somebody's name that may be misinterpreted as that. Is there any political messaging? Not that I noticed, but maybe your mileage will vary. Was there any elements that would lead anybody to believe there was anything intersectional in it, or was there any kind of DEI? And the obvious answer in an animated film is no. This was done very well, and I think that Illumination / Universal really know what they're doing. They even play homage to their old intros that we grew up with throughout the years. So beginning to end, a 6 out of 10, very enjoyable if you like the Minions. Don't hold back from going to see it. And look, I saw a movie, so you didn't have to. Now, this one, it's going to be up to you. If you're not subscribed to the channel, if this is your first time here or your 1000th, please double check you are subscribed. If not, hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and then leave me some comments down below. Are you going to go see Minions and Monsters? I keep wanting to do that backwards, but hey, forgive me. Are you going to go see the film? Are you looking forward to the film? Are you going to take some little ones? And again, I think you're perfectly safe taking anybody like 6, 7, 8 and older to see this film. You won't have to answer a lot of weird questions. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. Hopefully it's something you can enjoy.